Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for September 10th, 2014. Pretty decent blog planned for you today. We got to touch on some stuff that really came out the past couple of days. That following the blog on Monday, the stuff really came out. We're going to talk about it here in a minute. We're also going to talk a little bit about the hunt for October. I'm going to give you a look at the Heisman Race, which is probably one of the most wide open races in years past. And I'll give you my pick for the Thursday night game. But first, we have to discuss the Ray Rice issue. Ray Rice, the video came out on Monday of him beating his girlfriend. We saw the video of now in the elevator, and questions just started spinning. Ray Rice has been released by the Baltimore Ravens. He was suspended indefinitely following that release by the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL suspended him indefinitely, and then the question became, where did this video come from? How did TMZ get it? And why didn't the NFL get it? And I think the biggest question is that final question. Because everybody knows with TMZ can go out and pretty much buy whatever video they want. I heard Harvey Levin on The Herd with Colin Cowherd discuss some of this, and he basically said everybody buys video. All media sources do buy video to some degree. He said they just go get the video, and he actually brought up a point as well. Why didn't the NFL go get that video from that casino? They could have went to the casino and got the video. Police should have had access to that video too when they were going through their process. So I don't know why the police didn't have the video either. But a lot of questions that need to be answered for sure from this situation. And Ray Rice, the biggest question has been, will Ray Rice play again in the NFL? He's going to have to go through steps where we see him being a domestic violence advocate, against domestic violence. We need to see him out there doing things, going through therapy, talking to people. We need to see his marriage repaired with his wife, and we need to see some stuff happen. I think ultimately Ray Rice could get back into the NFL within the next couple of years, but is anybody really going to want to take a shot on this guy? I've heard numerous people say no, but who knows? Somebody down the line might take a shot at Ray Rice and see if he's got anything left in the tank. We'll keep you up to date on all things Ray Rice as we move through this scandal. Another scandal has come to an end. The Penn State bowl ban, lifetime ban, death penalty has come to an end. Penn State, by next year, will have all their scholarships back. They will be able to play in a bowl game this year, and that is good news for an institution that was given the death penalty for a criminal issue within their program. NCAA went above themselves for sure. No subpoena power, went above themselves and gave this program the death penalty for a criminal issue, not a lack of institutional control. Everybody was cleaned out that was a part of it. I think this is a good move by the NCAA, and I'm saying this could be the last time the NCAA has to make this kind of move, because we've seen with certain schools, these Power 5 schools are going to make something, and ultimately these conferences will govern themselves. The NCAA, within the next 5 years, I think we'll see the NCAA dissolve, and the Big Ten, the Big 12, the SEC, the ACC, and the Pac-12 will be their own governing bodies at that point. So that's going to be something to watch, definitely. And this will probably be the last time we see this instance of the NCAA dropping the death penalty on a team. All right, let's go to the hunt for October. The hunt for October is heating up. We're heading there. Baltimore has that East wrapped up, a nice 10-game lead over Toronto. Kansas City and Detroit are tied up in the Central. I think Detroit, just with the better pitching staff down the stretch, should win that division. Angels have proved themselves to be maybe the best team in baseball. They are now 8 games up on Oakland. Oakland really went downhill after that trade for John Lester, once they got rid of Cespedes. In the National League, Washington 9 games over Atlanta, St. Louis 4.5 over Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers with a 2.5 game lead over the Giants. So really just one tight race going down the stretch. And then as we go to the wild card standings, we have a 3-way tie at the top not really a 3-way tie at the top, because it's Oakland at the top of the first wild card, Kansas City on top, and Kansas City and Detroit are tied for the second wild card with Seattle a half game back. And in the National League, Pittsburgh has that second wild card. They're just 4 games back of San Francisco, and they lead Atlanta and Milwaukee by a game and a half. And look at that, the Miami Marlins just 3.5 out. That is crazy to think that the Miami Marlins are still in a wild card hunt. And really, if you look a little bit further down, Mets 5.5 back. The Yankees in the American League wild card are just 5.5 back. That's crazy to think the Mets are still in it as much as the Yankees are, if you can believe it. All right, let's talk a brief about the Heisman race. There's no Heisman race to talk about. That's what I'm going to tell you today. The Heisman race is the most wide open it's been. If you had to give somebody a front runner, I guess you would give a front runner to Kenny Hill. I guess I could see Kenny Hill maybe being the front runner for this, with the 7 touchdowns, no picks. Looked good in a couple of games, but he hasn't played anybody good yet. In the next couple of weeks, we're really going to see this Heisman race heat up. Jameis Winston's got some big games coming up. Everett Golson, who I think could be a legitimate Heisman contender, has some big games coming up. So we'll keep an eye on all that. But right now, not much of a Heisman race to talk about as we head into the 3rd week of college football. All right, before we get out of here today, Steelers-Ravens, that'll be tomorrow night's game. I think this is an easy pick. Ravens are a 2.5-point favorite at home. Ravens are really going to struggle, I think, with all this stuff with Ray Rice. They'll struggle at home. Steelers will get the win, and I'll pick the Steelers by a field goal, 23-20 Steelers. That's who I'll pick. Roethlisberger looked good last week. The offense looked good last week. Defense steps up. They'll be good to go. They'll beat the Ravens 23-20. All right, so I'll be back on Friday as I will have more for you. I'm going to have the rest of my picks for NFL. I'll do my college picks as we have some good games this weekend. Syracuse going to Central Michigan. That'll be a good one. Check me out on sportsmindednews.com. I'm also going to break down the Chicagoland race, the first race in the Chase, which will be on Sunday for NASCAR. Follow me on Twitter, YankeeBaller415. You can comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.